Mr. Speaker, sir, and the honorable members of the Assembly.
Sorry, Your Excellency, order. We'll be informed that you need to take an oath. So please, sorry for that.
Well, yes, Speaker. I was waiting for that.
Sorry. Okay. Clerk, can you administer the oath?
I, His Excellency Dr. Eric Mutai, do swear that the evidence I shall keep before this committee is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Now you can proceed with your submission.
Thank you so much. My submission, Mr. Speaker, thank you so much for this great time and this afternoon. And with a lot of humility, unlike the previous impeachment, Mr. Speaker, I was not there in person. But because this is a second impeachment happening in a row in Kericho County, the previous governor was impeached once. This one of Kericho County has been impeached the first time. This is the second time, and I thought I would like to come and listen also to debates, contribute, and also provide the facts that pertain to this county. Because the matters beforehand, Mr. Speaker, are grave issues that are of importance to the great people of Kericho County that they elected us to be able to serve them. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I'm very happy that my persistent accuser, Mr. Ragoin, today did not prod anybody in Buibui. And it's an improvement from the previous impeachment, Mr. Speaker. I was looking around, and when he was presenting videos, I thought I would see suddenly a Buibui, and we were not prepared for that, Mr. Speaker. But I'm happy that today he has improved a bit from the previous one, which is very good for all of us, because we're now discussing real substantive issues. Number three, Mr. Speaker, is to really appreciate your kind gesture since we came to this house. You've received us very well. The debates has proceeded very well. And I think this is a strength of maturity in the democracy of a nation, where we can agree, we can disagree to agree, and at the end of the day, we are able to debate on facts and even provide proper directions for the county governments that the Lord has blessed us under jurisdiction. Number four, Mr. Speaker, I would just like to make some few observations that as it is and the matters before us at hand, the matters that has been raised substantially here, I received the reports of this house after the impeachment has been tabled. A discussion was made in this house on the ad hoc committee on fictitious payment. Mr. Speaker, sir, it's just the following day after the discussion that I was able, and the impeachment motion was tabled in this house notice at around 2 p.m. Mr. Speaker, on the committee report on NAFCDB and the report on flood reports, these were debated long after the impeachment notice has been given, Mr. Speaker, and the reports were then submitted to me way after the notice of impeachment has been done, Mr. Speaker. In all human possibility, I had not even had a chance to go through the reports, Mr. Speaker, but when I was waiting for the reports to work on it, already an impeachment motion has been tabled in this great house. I say this, Mr. Speaker, not because we don't want to adduce to the fact, but just to let the people of Kericho understand that when we will get to a point of saying that the governor had not acted in the report, it is good to know that these reports came way even after the impeachment notice has been done, and it is what substantially is forming part of the grounds of the impeachment that has been made, Mr. Speaker. It is only fair in natural justice to be able to provide, like these reports would have come to me in good time, read the report, interpret it, and then come out to the public to indicate or write to this Honorable Assembly on the steps that the governor intends to do based on the reports. I've looked in the reports. It has given me days of around 28 days to be able to implement, Mr. Speaker. But the impeachment came even before the half day began, Mr. Speaker. Thirdly, Mr. Speaker, I am committed to this great assembly and the great members here and the people of Kericho to go, or having gone through the report, to do the following. Number one, to be able to act on the same report in totality within the stipulated framework that was given by this House. That is and still remains my commitment towards the given report. Mr. Speaker, to demonstrate our commitment in settling these matters, funds embezzlement is not a political question. It is criminal questions in nature. I have indicated times and above that corruption is what has taken Africa back and is what has destroyed nations. My commitment is demonstrated by the fact that EACC, DCI, has taken sense of the matter. As a county government, we have already submitted the documents to EACC and the DCI, who have been sent to come and prosecute this matter within also the relevant structures which portrays what this great assembly has done. Our commitment is to fully implement, cooperate with the agencies to ensure that the same is done and justice is served by the people, is served and given to the people of Kericho. Mr. Speaker, matters have been raised on the inconsistencies of the governor on this matter. One such matter is my speech at Cheburigei, whom it says I glorify the committee which I held at very high esteem, and also seems to be providing the same direction. It is then in my view that if we listen to the entire of that clip, I did indicate it, that those who are found culpable must face the law. And it is a commitment that I have. I don't have the instruments of investigation. Probably this House has, the EACC has, and the DCI. But a governor does not have the instruments. And it relies on the report that has been given to me. Mr. Speaker, I also rose because my lead counsel will use the smallest time we have, and we promise, Speaker, we will not even take 1.5 minutes, Mr. Speaker, because I really need the tea. It's been 1 week of agony and pressure, and we will really take the tea, Mr. Speaker. And I know when you are debate, and my good friends will take the floor here, some of the things they will say here may force pressure to go up a bit, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to safely hide me in your office, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, questions have arose on the imbalanced distributions of works in this county. My chief accuser, who is also my good friend, Honorable Rogoin, didn't report to this House as a few weeks ago he was doing a road in his ward, Mr. Speaker. I thought he was going to tell his people that he has just done a road, and so many others. I was also anticipating my chief accuser to indicate to the seconder of the motion, my good friend and my age-mate, Vincent Korir, that at this home, Londiani, Chago Road Water Project, which is going approximately 80 million, funded by Flocker, is almost 90% completion or almost done, and we are planning even for His Excellency President to come and commission, because they're one of the best in this area. My good friend, Honorable Rogoy, my chief accuser, equally, says that my friend Norman, and he claims he's my relative, and I don't want to discuss the substance because we are not here to discuss relatives and cousins and brothers and sisters, but he did also mention that Sao's water project, which is in the ward of Honorable Kavlela, that Mheshimiwa Maji, Kapsa Sur water project, and bordering his own constituency, his own ward, is actually funded by the Flocker project, Mr. Speaker, and he didn't mention that he's my relative or Maji is my relative, Mheshimiwa Maji, Mr. Speaker, sir. But he was very quick to say that Norman is my relative and therefore water project is being done in his word. But the same Council water project which is being done in his own word was not very kind enough to say that this water project is going to share is done. Those are the few things I want to raise. Mr. Speaker, the honorable member, and they say that Mheshimiwa Dominic of Kabianga is my friend. Mr. Speaker, my chief accuser, in the same breath, didn't realize that at a place called Kibrenkwe, somewhere in Kedawa, Kimugul, Mr. Speaker, a key Flocker water project is being done in that area at a cost of 17 million, and it is in the word of my good friend, which we just inspected the project today, Mheshimiwa Sigilai, Honorable Speaker. That is not your Mossad word. And I'm happy that the chief accuser didn't say that the member is my friend. So because he's my enemy, if using his own terms, it means that the project is again being done in his word, and it's a very good thing, Mheshimiwa Speaker Sam. Mr. Speaker, the question that the governor is unbalanced in distribution of work is far-fetched. Today, we are building a facility at Soshat, upgrading Soshat Hospital to be level 4 hospital. And we are doing a project worth 158 million. I'm very happy again that my chief accuser didn't mention, Mr. Speaker.
Order. I will, because of the matter, I want us to allow His Excellency the Governor to make his submissions.
Thank you for.
And then at some point in time, when Katwa will be and his team, I will allow the point.
So the Honorable Rogoin, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Rogoin, the motion mover, and which Mheshimiwa Paul Chichiri is assisting.
Order members, perhaps you know the governor is the first time he's standing.
Thank you for your grace, Mr. Speaker.
So I think they want you to refer to Honorable Rogoin as the motion mover.
Thank you for your grace, Mr. Speaker. I refrain from that and apologize.
Okay.
And Mr. Speaker, Honorable Rogoin didn't indicate, the motion mover didn't indicate that in Honorable Shelley's place we are building a facility. But he did also indicate that he's my friend, but we are doing a facility there today, Mr. Speaker, sir. What I'm trying to build on, in fact, the Mheshimiwa Honorable Tiriot Beth of Ainamoi, the other day through Flocker project, we were giving out daily course with him. And Ainamoi is not your Mossad word. And the motion mover correctly did indicate that we are doing something. So the accusation of the governor that he has not balanced the word, I want to believe in the history of devolution, this is the time that we are speaking live to many of the wards across this county. Mr. Speaker, because I don't want to dwell with much, because I know that and you'll forgive me because I don't know the practices of this house, and lucky for me, I've not been an MC or a member of parliament, just been in the executive. I would also just like to mention a few things, and this is for the clarity of the county. When we mention that the governor has sacked CECs and CEOs, we need to have facts. The governor has no powers to even sack a single CEO in the first place. The process of sacking a CEO is either through resigning or through disciplinary process in the Public Service Board. Those powers, and you have been in the executive yourself, Mr. Speaker, thank God, rest with the institutional bodies that are independent. In Kericho County, I would like to see a letter today being tabled that indicate the governor signing that I have sacked this CEO on this date and this date, Mr. Speaker, sir. Because the rest remains just wishful thinking. As to the CECs, Mr. Speaker, the internal processes as the appointing authority lies within the executive, the appointing authority. We were at Naivasha, there were discussions with the joint cabinet, there were demonstrations of performance across the county, and in the process, the appointing authority in his wisdom and the powers bestowed by the great people of the county, because CCs are representatives of the governor at that level, was able to make some directions on the same. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this. If the governor is going to be impeached for having sacked CCs or changed CEOs, this great house that we are today, Mr. Speaker, have also had 3 majority leaders in a short span of time. There was Honorable Vincent, who I sent to Egypt to tour the pyramids. He came back, his seat was Muteja. Mr. Speaker, in the same breath, my good friend and my compatriots, my good friend Paul Chichi Tarimbo, holding briefly for him, before Kashagwa decided to make the current majority leader the leader of this House, Mr. Speaker, who is supposed to be impeached in this matter, because what is good for the goose must be good for the gander. Mr. Speaker, the great House we are today, and I'm proud to be here, have had different committees at different levels, at different transition, different chairs of committees in the places. The governor has never challenged or anybody, because the powers of the House cannot be challenged by anybody. It is rested on you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and the Constitution vests powers on you and the members. The latest of those casualties is my good friend, Honorable Kimarus, Mr. Speaker, who was a chair for Rose the other day, but now is home. But who is going to be impeached now on all these things? So what I'm trying to say is that...
Okay, for the purpose of record, because we are unanswered, I guess you must have been referring to Honorable Gilbert Ngetich.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker. Just like I said, Mr. Speaker, you be graceful to me because I'm in this House today. So what I'm just saying is that institutions have their strengths, institutions have their powers that cannot be challenged by anybody. In this same case, the institution of the county governor's office also, the people vested powers on him on matters he says, and the public service board have also been given such other responsibilities. Mr. Speaker, sir, I saw something interesting in this motion. One very interesting thing is the governor is accused to have employed his brother and the wife of his staff. Mr. Speaker, you have been in the executive. The governor have no absolute role in the employment and recruitment and promotions of the staff of the county. The power is vested on the Public Service Board, which is a constitutional independent body. If the governor is facing an impeachment because he's accused of maybe nepotism, Mr. Speaker, then I'll ask myself the same question. The wife of my good friend, Honorable Burchid Shir, is a staff in our county facility, Mr. Speaker, sir, who is supposed to be impeached, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, many members here, around, I don't want to mention names, 4 or 5, have their spouses working in the county government of Kericho. I have even confirmed them because they are noble citizens of this country who have gone to school and they deserve employment, Mr. Speaker, sir. And these things were happening when some of the members were seated in this same house as members of this house. Mr. Speaker, when I came as a governor, we confirmed them and we are working with them because they deserve jobs in this country. But Mr. Speaker, on the matter of whether the governor has employed anybody, the question rests with the Public Service Board of Kericho County, which is an independent body. In the same way, Mr. Speaker, we can't challenge that so-and-so has a relative working here, just in the same way in this assembly, there is the County Service Board. And in the County Service Board, Kenyans and people of Kericho come and apply a job. In one way or the other, there can be a coincidence that they can be relative of so-and-so. That, Mr. Speaker, is something that I think the Constitution provides for the same. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I wish to say this. As a governor of this county, I regret that we're in this situation. There is devolution conference, a key event happening for this nation at Homa Bay. It was my sincere, it could give us a chance to prepare. Mr. Speaker, we're having the last financial, or basically second last financial year. It has always been my desire that we resolve our issues because impeachment is always the last resort when issues cannot be resolved. However, I wish to deny any wrongdoing. My senior counsel will come and demonstrate the hype stories of sodas, the hype stories of tissue papers, which was choreographed, planned to wipe public emotions. He will come and demonstrate that in a short while, Mr. Speaker, sir. And we will want to do this not for anything, for posterity. For posterity, because another impeachment motion will come to this house. We would want to treat a governor based on innuendos, on malice, but we would want the same to apply, that the law stands on its here and this place. Because as it is, I haven't seen statements, Mr. Speaker, that the governor withdrew funds of NAFCDB. Mr. Speaker, you have been the CC Finance for those years in Kericho County. The governor has no role in withdrawal of funds. It doesn't have the accounting rights at all the times. And the statements that have been made by the motion mover is that he is going to provide the financial statements in future. In future. But an impeachment is being discussed today as we wait for documents from the bank to be provided in future. Mr. Speaker, we need to be balanced in our thoughts. That where issues are, we keep fair justice where it deserves. The matter of Londiani will equally be dealt with the senior counsel, and I know we'll exhaustively discuss those details. But I wish to say, finally, that the process is ongoing. I just want to also request this great assembly that whether the impeachment becomes successful or not, because God knows the fate of everybody. We are here today, we are not there tomorrow. We are seated today as Waishimiwa of Kericho County, elected by the people. We will not be there forever. People have been in this house, they have gone. And I quote Senior Counsel James Orengo, that when my time comes to go, I'll always go with my head high, knowing that I've done great for the people of Kericho County, even within a short time. And I've done it with my heart and passionately with my heart. And I'm not guilty. And I'm not afraid. I have summoned my soul for the last 1 week and asked myself what is happening. And I know that I am not a perfect person, I'm not an angel. I make mistakes just like any other person. But out of all this, Mr. Speaker, let's do some few things for Kericho County. The Public Service Board is not in place. The names are in this great assembly. These are institutions that need to operate and run. When we make recommendations that the CEO should face the Public Service Board, or recommendations that take the CEO to the Public Service Board, the work of the governor is just to write to the Public Service Board. In the absence of a functional Public Service Board, Mr. Speaker, the same will not be realized. Allow it to happen so that it forms another ground for an impeachment. And looking into the energy of motion mover, having moved this time, I don't know if you'll survive this. Maybe you have another energy for a third one. But it's my prayer that the Lord will lead us to green pastures. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, as we do this, I still invite the honorable members of the great County Assembly of Kericho. But all is not lost. We have a county that has been given by us by the people of Kericho. We have just a year or two to finish on what our people ask us to do. It's an assignment that cannot happen in the place of rancors and disagreements. I invite the great County Assembly of Kericho that there comes a time again when we can look into ourselves, hold our hands, look ourselves into our face, forgive one another, and move forward to a prosperous county. I'm ready to work with every member of the County Assembly. Whether this motion will be defeated here, whether it will go to Senate and we will come back, whether it will be defeated in the Senate or it will move and we go to courts and come back, because our whole process, all these things, I still want to say I harbor no grudge to anybody, including the motion mover. I extend my hand that we are ready to work together, build this county together for the grace that the little time that God has given us. With those remarks, Mr. Speaker, I would wish to end by inviting Lawyer Katwakiki and also request you, Mr. Speaker, for that cup of tea you had proposed, because the energy levels are going down on me. Thank you so much. And lastly, before, yes, Mr. Speaker, just lastly, I beseech of you, Mr. Speaker, with your grace, we are going to progress with this motion and finally vote. So many issues have been raised, that there is an e-system, e-procurement, and it's good to say this in public, that there is an e-system. The standing orders provide that we can vote electronically, we can vote through acclamation, we can vote through roll call. Mr. Speaker, all I beseech your good office, if there is one string lying between me and that, is fairness. Just fairness. But when it comes to voting, let it be transparent. If we will feel at your discussion and request you, Speaker, that we do a roll call voting and people will stand up and say that my name is so and so, honorable so and so, I want the governor to go home, I will smile, Mr. Speaker. If this one say this and this, I'll equally smile. And at the end of the day, if I may go, let me go with dignity and with fairness, because a democratic right of every individual. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and looking forward for the cup of tea under your grace. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much.